Hi everyone, hope you're enjoying the Wellbeing at the Whitaker Day. This session is a Learn to Crochet session that we are going to be learning with Janet. So Jackie, Moira and myself are new to crocheting and we're really looking forward to learning the basics. Janet's kindly done some videos that you may have seen already, which tell you all you need to know about yarn and everything you need to know about your crochet hook. And there's also one around on knitting needles, and there's another session that's going to be running this morning on learning how to knit. So I hope you enjoy this session. I know we're really looking forward to learning along with you. So let's get going. Over to you, Janet.
Hi, everybody. Right. Dear me, do you know what you're doing?
No.
Because this is seriously addictive when you get it. Okay, so you've got your crochet hook and you've got your wool. And what I want you to do is just get your wool like that and make just a little loop. You see the loop there? And just put your thumb on the bit there where the two pieces cross. Right? And you've got that. Okay, we're all with me so far? Yep, excellent. Right, take your hook in the hand that you use. If you're left-handed, watch this the other way or stand on your head or whatever you do. And then what I want you to do is your wool that's not the little short end here, your long piece of wool still attached to your ball, just pop that over there and take your hook and put your hook through the loop. And then the long end of wool, right, so like that. You put in the hook through the loop that you just made there. Okay, right, excellent, right. So then with your hook, what you're going to do is you're going to pick up, just do this slowly, pick up the long piece of wool and just pull that through. So you end up with a loop and another little loop on top. Well done. Oh, that's beautiful, Moira. No, you've done really well there. That's great. Okay, Jackie, it's all right. Take your time. Right, your loop, put your hook through, and then pick up with the hook, because you've got to remember the hook does the work. Right, it looks like you're wiggling it around, creating magic, and you are, but it's the hook that does the work. Excellent. Right, okay. And then we just repeat that. And this stitch that we're making is called a chain. So
we
just
pull
carry
that
on.
Through? Sorry, do we pull that through? So...
Yeah, just pull the long end of the yarn, pull it through like that, pull it through the loop. Right.
I've got that through. No, I've got that through, but this, that's not tightening that hoop.
Don't worry about that. We're going to deal with that in a minute. You're getting ahead of yourself, Lara.
What a surprise.
Okay, right. Okay, so and all you're going to do now is just carry on doing that basic movement.
It's done it now.
Yeah. Okay, Jackie. Yeah, so just keep on doing it. And this is a foundation chain. Just a chain stitch. So have you lost it, Jackie? Yeah, right, I'll do it again for you. Okay, so you will make your little loop and just hold it with your thumb. Yeah. And then you put your hook through the loop.
Yeah.
And then just pull the long end through with your hook.
Yeah.
That's it, right, okay. And then just repeat.
So just repeat.
Just do it at the same movement. You hook round the wool and then pull it through.
I see what you're saying.
I can see how this is addictive.
Yeah, it's very soothing and therapeutic. This is
soothing and therapeutic.
Sort of the knitting equivalent of casting on, but it's not called casting on. You're making a foundation chain, and you use this chain to build your stitches on. Right, okay. You're okay there, Jackie?
My hook won't hook. My hook's like not got a hook. Okay.
Let's have a look at it. Right, yeah, there's a twisting movement to your hook. So what you're doing is you do it so that you twist your hook in your hand and use it so that the end of the hook catches the wool. Right. Okay. Yeah, you're doing it. That's great. Yeah, just do that again. Now there's lots and lots. Everybody holds the hook differently. The main thing to do is just do it how it's comfy for you. Right. Okay. Yeah. So just carry on doing that a few times, and then you'll see a little pattern emerging.
Look at, have you done that, Moira?
Because she's good. Right. How can we just... Yeah. Jackie.
Once you've done a few, it feels...
Yeah, Jackie. Whoop.
Yes.
Have a look. Right. Just put your left index finger, just put it under the string of wool that you're working from. Like that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
And then use it that way. You
yeah, I see what
you'll find it easier doing it that way. That's it. That's better. Right. So how's Lara doing? How are you doing down there, Lara? Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm impressed. Right. So what you're going to do is, after a few goes, you'll end up with something like this. Now, can you see there? It's not very clear. You end up with like a series of little V's in that chain. Can you see your little V's? Yeah. Yours will be quite loose at the minute, Jackie, because tension will come. Don't worry about it. This is just...
I keep on doing the other end.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Yeah, ending up with less. Right, sorry. I will get it.
No, that's okay. You're doing okay.
No.
You are.
I
said so. Right, so just carry on, you two. Come on. I want some strings. While you're practicing, I'll just tell you a story about a lady who I met through Facebook, and she supports a family in Peru, and they live in one of these wooden hut things, concrete floors. It's not really a very inspiring environment, and all this lady can do is make this chain. So what she's done is she's made hundreds of long lengths of chain in all these different colours, and she sent them to Peru, and that basically they've just hung them over the door, over a stick on the door, and it's made like an insect screen, and they look fabulous, look absolutely fabulous. So something as simple as that, the little chain you can use it for anything, but basically this is what you'll use to eventually, when we'll move on in a couple of minutes, to making a stitch. I'll talk about stitches while you're carrying on with that. Stitches, there's basically they're all the same stitch. It's just that there's American terms and there's UK terms. I use UK terms because obviously I'm English. I like the English language and the English way of crochet. American, when you make a stitch, it's how many times you wrap the yarn around your needle, your hook, to go into your chain or your next row of stitches. And basically the American terms are based on how many times you wrap the wool around the hook to make a stitch. But I'll not say those words, use those terms, because we're using English terms at the moment. If you buy any good crochet magazine, there's quite a few available on the market now. There's always a page at the back that gives you the conversion chart for UK terms and American terms. So it's the same as baking, like we weigh in grams or ounces, they use cups, and it's that sort of conversion so that you know if you've got the cups you can use their recipes, you don't have to convert it to grams or ounces. Crochet is the same. So
Google's fantastic for that, isn't it?
yeah, you Google anything. The internet's a fantastic resource for crochet and knitting. There's so many inspirational YouTube videos. There's Ravelry, where you've got patterns. There's Pinterest. Oh my word, Pinterest. Do any of you use Pinterest? Yeah, like there's a day lost. It is, you know. Yeah, I'm sure there's a Mad Hatter in there somewhere. But yeah, so there's lots of ideas and inspiration out there. Ravelry, they do have some free patterns, but a lot of them you've got to pay for, and they're not that expensive if you know if it's something that you're particularly inspired by. You can buy a pattern, and even the US dollars ones, it converts to English money for you. So yeah, and then there's books, and it's all very exciting. I'll just see if I can see it. I'll go and get this this sample I made the other week. There's a lady on YouTube called Tina. I'll try and read it. She's Icelandic. Tina Þorvdóttir.
Kudos for trying that. Sorry.
I'm not Þorvdóttir. I can't find her last name, but it's Thorvberg or something like that. Anyway, she lives in Iceland and she's married to a Cuban man, so she spends half her time in Iceland and half the time in Havana, but she's an expert on this type of crochet. And that's the Apache Tears design, and basically there's only 2 stitches in that, double crochet and the UK treble crochet, and it's a really easy pattern. It's but requires a bit of concentration and counting, and those are the 2 things that when you start following patterns you really need to do. You've got to get used to counting your stitches, and you know, because it can be quite critical in some designs. So right, how are you doing there, Jackie?
Okay, I think. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No, yes. It's a bit easier when you get a bit further along.
It is. I think those first few stitches, those first few ones are quite difficult, aren't they? But once you've got
they're a bit tricky. Yeah. So you can pull that first loop if you want to just pull the short end of your wool and give it a tug. It'll close it up. Right. Okay. So from there, now then, just look at your loop on your hook and have a look at your little V's. Okay, can you see those little V's that you've made? Yep. And then I want you to take your hook like this. Just turn it around that. And there's the first V, miss that one. And then put your hook into the second V. So it's going in there like that, right through. Show you again, Jackie.
Yeah.
Miss the first V, and in the second V, just push your hook right through that V.
Yeah.
And then, like you did when you're making chains, just pull that wool through. Give it a little tug. and it should come through, and you end up with 2 loops on your hook. Yeah. Okay. And excellent. Oh, wonderful. Right. You're very good, you 3. Honestly, you're brilliant. Right. And then put your hook under and grab the yarn and pull your hook through those 2 loops.
Pull that yarn over the top like that, and then pull it through those 2 loops.
Yeah, just use your hook to pull it through, and then through both loops, so you've just got 1 loop left on your hook. Right, and that's your first double crochet stitch.
We think we've done it right.
Jackie looks like she's struggling a bit.
No, I think.
Oh no, you've got it. Excellent. Right, and then the next V along, you just do that same again. Push your hook right through, and then give it a tug. Pull it through with your hook. So you've got 2 loops, and then pull it through again, so you just have 1 loop left on your hook. Yeah. I'm so excited.
I'm just ending up with a nice knot now.
Don't worry about it.
I can see what it's doing. It's not a knot, is it really?
It's just that's the bit that you've worked, and you do sort of, it just looks a little bit lumpy and bumpy. Yeah,
carry on.
So yeah, carry on
with faith that it will all.
Yeah, hook into the V, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, then pull through again, 1 hook on your loop. 1 loop on your hook, not 1 hook on your loop.
But you need quite a bit of chain to be going at, don't you?
Well, as much as you need, I mean, once you start working to a pattern, it'll tell you how many chains you need. I've only got about, how many have I got here? I've only got a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've only got 10 chains on mine. But this is what we're aiming for. This is there's 5 rows. I think there's 11 stitches on this one of double crochet, and as you can see, it's curling a little bit. But
right, so that's
that's normal. It's quite natural, and it shows that you're getting good tension on your work, which is excellent for beginners.
I don't think
because usually it can look a bit weird. I'll just go again, and I think I can see it over there. Won't be a minute.
See how this is addictive.
Yeah, no, I thought I had a piece of work that my 8-year-old granddaughter did, and that's a bit lumpy bumpy, and your first attempts usually aren't very good and not very encouraging, but you're all doing really, really well. But like I say, it's one of them things you've got to persevere with.
Going to make some more chain.
No. When you've got to the end,
don't do that.
When you've got to the end of your chain, you're gonna
make my chains really loose. My first one.
Don't worry about it. In fact, if your chain's getting looser, just stop at that point where it's getting too loose for you to be comfortable with it. Okay, Lara, you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm just struggling to see where my where my next V is.
Right. Okay. Well, at that
No,
point,
it's age and daylight. I don't know whether you can see, but since we started, the daylight's gone
yeah,
completely.
gone down. Yeah.
I'm just going to rearrange my lighting situation, and I'll be back in a moment.
Okie doke.
Yeah. No, it's all really loose and I hadn't got enough, so I just wanted to make some more. Can I make some more while I'm...
No, not at this point. Don't worry about it. When Lara comes back, I'll show you what we're going to do next, because we're just going to work on this double crochet next.
I can see the difference between the ones that are tighter and the ones that...
Yeah, you will do. But it's like I say, tension is one of them things that when you're beginning, it's not critical. It's just getting the hang of the stitches and how they work, rather than making sure, you know, it's a perfect piece of work, because, you know, even experienced crocheters sometimes don't get the tension right. And I'll be a bit technical with you. There's different sizes of crochet hook. And when you're working on something like a blanket, they'll tell you to do a tension square, which on your ball of yarn is this little symbol here.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're knitting or crocheting, that there will be 22 stitches, 30 rows. I think that's knitting. Will give you a 10 by 10 tension square. But when you're crocheting, let me see, because the light's going in here as well.
I'm on a 4mm.
Yeah, so that's what the standard hook is for double knitting wool. But when you do a tension square, if I do crochet quite tight, but usually if I'm making a blanket, it just means that I might use a little bit more wool than somebody else. But if you want to get your tension right in crochet, this is a 3.5mm hook. So that's slightly smaller than the 4mm. That's what you'd use. You'd go down that size if you were crocheting very loosely, which is where you people are at the moment, but that's okay. For me, because I crochet quite tight, we go up another half size to a 4.5mm hook. But I just tend to use my 4 because I'm comfortable with it. We're very good friends. I've got quite a few of these because I keep losing them. So that's the difference. That's when your tension is critical and needs to be a particular size. That'd be if you were making a cardigan, something like that, or something for a baby, and it needs to be a particular size. So yeah, but you that will come as you go on. I'll just talk a little bit while you're doing that about these hooks that I use. These are the Clover Soft Touch hooks. I'm not on commission. They're really good because they've got a nice comfortable grip. Those of you using metal hooks, can you feel the size number on your thumb when you're crocheting? Yeah, it's quite uncomfortable. If you're doing a lot of work, you'll end up with a groove in your thumb that can be a bit uncomfy. So I started using these about 3 years ago, and they're so much better. But for this size, I think they're about $5.99 each, and I've got quite a lot of them. But I just pop another hook in while I'm when I'm doing my online ordering. But they are really, really good, and they do make your work much easier because they've got all the design gurus on, and so they've got a better when you're pulling the wool through the loops on your hook, that's called the glide, and your wool glides much better. The better your hook, the better the glide, and obviously it's easier. So it's not as hard work on you. Because lots of people can end up with injuries, crochet-related injuries like tennis elbow, RSI, frozen shoulders. So be careful out there, it's dangerous.
You didn't tell me this before we set off.
Well, you know.
I didn't do a risk assessment.
Should I put a health warning on it? Caution, this habit is extremely addictive and maybe dangerous. Right, have you got to a point where we can turn round our work in your double crochets? Do you want to have a go? It doesn't matter if you're at the end, we can turn in the middle of the row. Okay, so
you can see where I've missed. I don't know what I've done there. I've missed a bit.
It just looks like, oh no, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so put your hook in there. And then this is where we're going to make a chain, just one chain. So you just pull the wool through your loop and then turn it round. And you'll see it looks a little bit different because you haven't got these, you've got these on the top, but you're going to actually, so like you've got your V's there, but you're actually going to work into the little holes, because underneath the V's there are little holes. So you're going to use, you've got one chain that raises the level of your crochet up to make another row. And then, so we're going to just go into that little V there, that little hole under the V, and just make that double crochet stitch again. You want me to do it again, Jackie?
Yes, please. I didn't see that properly.
Okay, right. Just pull that back. Go back. Right. So there's the hook. It's this. If you put your thumbnail under the back of the V, you can just push it and you'll see the little hole that you're going to go into. So the little hole is here. Just use a needle. Right. So it's just that part there.
And just one along or two along?
You missed the first little hole.
First one and going to the next one.
And going to the next one, yeah.
And then what do you do when you're through it?
Then you just carry on doing the double crochet stitch until you get to the other end where you started.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we're doing that. And then into that little hole there.
That glide bit.
So that is why the chain and your first row crochet is called your foundation chain and row, because it is slightly different to how you carry on afterwards. So you're making a good solid base for your little piece of work there. And that's how it looks. Because when you work backwards and forwards, the stitch looks different when you do your second row. And then it'll look, you know, you can just see there, if you can see that very clearly.
Yeah. It's like ribs on a jumper, isn't it, almost?
Yeah, yeah. Some very serious, studious faces there.
Not sure whether I've got this quite right, but I'm carrying on and trusting the process.
Let's have a quick look.
I don't think you'll be able to see anything at the minute. I don't.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Fine. Yeah. Yeah.
It took me a while to try and figure out which was the V's and which were the holes. That's what I've got,
right.
To be honest.
Yeah.
The V's weren't that clear.
I mean, there's probably more technical terms for it, but this is how I try to explain it in very simple layman's terms. Good. That's it. Last week I was babysitting my grandchildren. We're in a bubble, and the 5-year-old who's only just gone to school His first lesson was PE with Joe Wicks, which we managed without any serious injuries. But the second one, maths, this is for a 5-year-old, ordinal sequencing. Right. And I'm thinking, what the figgy pudding's that? And it's basically putting things that happen in time in the right order.
Okay.
As demonstrated by the nursery rhyme, Hickory Dickory Dock. So you to put in the order of the mouse running up the clock striking 1 and the mouse running down again. And I got it, but it took me like, what? You sort of think, I've got a degree, I've got business administration MVQ level 3, I've got GCSEs, and I can't do 5-year-old maths. So thank you, ladies, you've been really brilliant.
No, thank you. Our session is coming to an end, actually, unfortunately.
Okay.
I can see how this is incredibly addictive, Janet.
Okay.
Is there anything
Right.
else that we need to know?
No, I'd like you just, if you can do, to carry on practicing that. I think the next stitch just moves on another stage. But if you've got that far with me, and obviously, Lara, hopefully you'll send this video to the other two and then they can carry on practicing. And because sometimes you get it.
I definitely will do it.
Yeah, you get it, and then you put it down and you don't do it for a day or two. And it's like this. I went on from this sample to make a baby blanket, and I had to go back and watch the video on YouTube to remember how I start off. Yeah. So, you know, even if you're experienced, you will need to go and revisit your initial learning. So it's just a case now, ladies, you've got the book, you've got the wool, you've got the hook. You'll be happy hookers before you know it.
Thank you.
Practicing. Okay.
And well, hopefully, maybe we were talking earlier about maybe this being the start of a nice little crochet group that we can maybe carry on virtually until we can eventually meet in the Whittaker when we finally open. Yeah,
I do actually run a group on Knits That Fits at Fitzpatrick's in Rottenstall, obviously closed at the moment. And there is another event that I do on Rottenstall Market called the Big Crochet, which we are currently in discussion with the Whittaker to bring it up to the new cafe, which will be a Saturday event when people have got a little bit more leisure time. And even if they don't want to crochet, it's amazing how many people want to talk about their memories of crochet, which I always find absolutely fascinating. You know, even men will come over and talk to you about it. You know, oh, my grandma used to do, oh, my grandma made me this. And, you know, there's some very interesting stuff out there on the internet of things that grandmas make. So, yeah, keep going and keep practicing. And like I said, there's YouTube, Pinterest. I've got a Facebook group called Knits That Fits, or if you just want to pop in for a chat, please do.
Fantastic.
Right. Thank you very much, Janet, and well done. Thank you, Moira and Jackie. It was good to be able to learn together. It's always nice when you're learning something new, isn't it? To kind of not feel like you're struggling on your own. So that's great. So I hope you've enjoyed this session. As we said, hopefully we're going to be able to carry this on in maybe in the virtual world initially, but then in the actual real world when we finally get out of these lockdowns. So until then, enjoy the rest of the day, enjoy the rest of the wellbeing sessions, and happy crocheting.
Oh.